Dr. Mallika Marshall has been a trusted source of information all the way through the pandemic. She joins me now. Doctor, you've gotten a lot of questions about the booster shot, so let's jump right into it. Nancy writes, my husband and I had 2 doses of Pfizer back in March and recently had breakthrough cases of COVID. Is it still recommended that we get a booster? And if so, how long should we wait before we do?
You know, I've been trying to answer this question for a while now, and it's really hard for me to give you a clear response because we don't exactly know yet. If you're fully vaccinated and then you get a breakthrough infection, you've sort of gotten a natural booster. So there probably is no need to rush out and get a booster shot right now. But depending on your age and your underlying health, you may need a booster eventually down the road. I, of course, would discuss it with your personal physician, but I don't have a clear-cut answer. I'm sorry.
So it's possible that if you just had COVID, you might wait 6 months to get a booster, depending on what your doctor says.
Exactly.
All right. Milani says, I am scheduled to have my Moderna booster shot and plan to travel. What are the chances of having a false positive, given the fact that I would have had the vaccine 5 days earlier? A lot of places that you go, you have to pass the test before you leave.
Exactly. Well, you should know that the COVID-19 vaccines nor the boosters will cause you to test positive for the virus. If you test positive, especially with a PCR test, then you are infected with the coronavirus. Had nothing to do with the booster.
All right. And Sandy writes, I received Pfizer almost 6 months ago. With all the talk about Pfizer becoming less effective over time, faster than Moderna, should I wait and get a Moderna booster instead?
I mean, you're right. Studies have suggested that you might get a little extra bump in antibodies with the Moderna booster compared to the Pfizer booster, but I don't think you can go wrong with either. I had Pfizer for both of my first 2 doses. I got Pfizer for my booster, but I would have been equally happy getting a Moderna booster if it had been available at that time. So either one is fine.
All right. Dana writes, my husband and I are fully vaccinated. We're due to get our boosters in November and December, respectively. How protected are we from COVID, and how long does the booster last? Are the side effects similar to the first or second shot?
Right, so we don't yet know exactly how long those booster shots will last, but there is hope that they will extend immunity longer than the original vaccine series. Even before you get a booster, you still should be really well protected against hospitalization and death just with those original shots. But it would be nice to get a little bump in your antibodies since we know immunity does wane over time. And the side effects of the boosters tend to be similar to the original vaccines. They might be slightly different. Mine were a little bit different, but they tend to be sort of the same types of reactions.
All right, David in Alston has his own question.
Yeah.
If you got, say, the Pfizer for the first shot, and you know you didn't have any effects from it, are you better off just getting that one again so you know what you're getting?
You mean for a booster?
Yeah.
You know, again, I don't think it matters.
Okay.
I mean, a lot of people will say stick with Pfizer if you got Pfizer the first time around, but it's perfectly fine to get a Moderna if that's the one that's available to you.
All right, thank you so much. Dr. Mallika, always offering her best advice, but as always, consult your personal doctor before making any decisions about your health. If you have a question for Dr. Mallika, 3 ways to reach her. First, her email, drmallika@cbs.com. On Twitter, her handle is @Mallika Marshall, or you can Facebook message her, Dr. Mallika Marshall.